And speaking of college, one of the greatest college players of all time, if not the greatest, is running tomorrow, and he will be your next senator.
But if you ask him to spell college, there would be an A in the word probably.
Or one less L.
Did you go to college?
There it is. So I'll be wearing this Herschel Walker jersey. This is nice. This is the best $30 I've ever spent on something like that. But, I mean, they even put the list of accomplishments on the back of it, which is nice. 3-time consensus All-American.
Oh, I thought it was going to be the list of children.
No, well, that's long, too.
Yeah.
Maxwell Award, Walter Camp Award, 1980 National Champion, 1982 Heisman Trophy winner. He's got a lot. And now he's going to be heading the freshman class of the 2022 Senate from my home state of Georgia. I told you, if Georgia beat Tennessee on Saturday, it's a lock. So you can go ahead and lock that up. They smashed them, and we'll talk about that this afternoon on the Monday Morning Recap Show. In the meantime, Lance Liggett also sent in some thigh huggers here, some personalized Drinking Bros thigh huggers that'll be available on drinkingbros.com soon. Look at these. These turned out great. I just opened up this package about 5 minutes ago. That's nice. Oh. Shout out to Thigh Huggers and Lance. So these will be available on the site. And then more fun news. HardAFSeltzer.com is open. The site is open and ready to ship to your house right now. Weird thing. So I talked to the guys in Florida. So they recovered from the hurricane and all that stuff. And what they had did was something similar to what's in our warehouse right now, where they shrink wrapped it. So there's 50 cases that survived the hurricane of the OG flavors. And so if you're on there and you want the OG flavors right now, go to hardafseltzer.com. There's 50 left, 50 cases left, and they'll ship right to your house. And they survived, they lived, and then we'll put the new ones in afterwards. But pretty cool. And shout out to the guys for keeping the product safe. We wrote it off. I was like, all right, man, whatever. Just take care of yourself. Protect yourself.
Protect your neck, I believe, is good advice to have.
Sure is. And instead, they protected our cases of Hard AF Seltzer. And the last 50 are available online right now of the OG flavors. New flavors are coming in a couple days. And for the Florida peeps, we are live at Tactical Brewing in Orlando, Florida, and Total Wines down in Orlando. So feel free to stop by if you're in the Orlando area and grab as much as you want. Midterms are going to be a long night tomorrow night, so at least you can sit back in Orlando and drink some of those guys while you watch us. In the meantime, like we do, every year on the show, we have a prediction show the night before of who we think is going to win. And this tradition started all the way back in 2016. Yep. Hard to believe the show has been around that long. But we got some of the swing states. A lot of these are decided. Bob, what is 538 saying in regards to the Republican shot to actually win Senate as a whole?
55 out of 100 times the Republicans win. 45 out of 100 times the Democrats win. That is essentially what their odds are saying.
So that's the highest I've seen. I think last week when we did the show it was at 53. The next day was 54. Now it's 55. If you'll recall, about 6 weeks before that, it was 78%. That is quite a dramatic swing there. One of the things that I'm reading, like most of the day here from a lot of these outlets, is the early voting and the youth voting. And they're saying that Democrats have come out and early voting has broken records or whatever. I don't know if that's necessarily true in this because I felt like in 2016, a lot of people early voted as well. It was just for a different candidate. I can't call it. What does that mean to you? Because you've done these campaigns and stuff like that before.
You can't really gauge it like that now. It used to be that if there was a ton of early voting, that meant that the Democrats did really well, right?
Okay.
And that if there was a ton of young voting, the Democrats did really well. But after 2020 with, it's just like how telemedicine is such a thing now. People don't really go to the doctor much anymore. They just call them, give them their symptoms, and they send you pills. I wish that's how it works.
Yeah, same.
But
same.
It's a lot less hands-on now. So I think more people are deeply suspicious about mail-in voting, but even conservatives take advantage of early voting now, I think, because they don't want to deal with all that bullshit on Election Day.
Yeah,
So
I already voted.
I don't think it's any indicator of anything anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I already voted. Have they sent out ballots this year? Because I haven't seen many of those. As far as mail-in goes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like considering the climate and what happened in 2020, we probably would have heard a lot about it if that were the case.
Yeah, I haven't heard too much about that. I've seen a couple here and there online of people posting, but it's from actors who were out of town and things like that.
Yeah.
But not like normal people. That will have a big impact on this as well. What do we got as far as the toss-up states here, Bob?
So let's go with the big one first.
Okay.
Your home state.
Yes.
Georgia, Herschel Walker has 58 out of 100 chance of winning.
Whoa, he's a 58% chance now?
Yes.
Herschel Walker.
Yeah. Warnock, 42% chance.
That's a massive number. What happened?
I don't know. However, so this is important. We were talking about this before the show.
Yeah.
Someone has to get over 50% to win the election.
Okay. Oh, that's right, in the state of Georgia. Yeah.
Otherwise, there is a runoff.
Okay.
Right now, it's forecasted, and again, there's all the grain of salt, whatever, but like it's a number to look at, essentially. You can believe it, take it or leave it. Walker is projected to get 49.6% of the votes, and Warnock even 49, which would trigger a runoff.
All right, what do you think here, Dan? Who's going to take this?
It depends. So let's say I don't know what. Let's move on first because I think that Walker will probably win the general election part, but if there's a runoff, it's going to depend on some other things. Mostly the ground game and how much money each party's willing to spend on that seat to get people out to vote again.
Because
you know what I mean?
and what's interesting to me about a runoff in this election is people in the state really like Brian Kemp.
Yep.
And they really don't like Stacey Abrams.
Correct.
Right. Understandable positions.
Yeah.
However, I don't think that anyone's like super hyped about Herschel Walker.
Georgia football fans.
That's it.
I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah.
That is probably the case, but it'll still depend. So it's going to depend mostly on the Fetterman-Oz thing. If that goes into some kind of prolonged ballot counting or runoff kind of situation, I mean, if you're the Republican Party, who do you back in that scenario? It's a good, and I'm not asking rhetorically. I'm serious. Like, how do you decide who to really throw your weight behind? I mean, Oz. I don't think that sending Trump to Pennsylvania would be helpful for Oz, but I think it could be helpful for fucking Herschel Walker, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Pennsylvania as a state as a whole is such a massive deal. I would throw the money there, me personally, versus Herschel Walker, where, Georgia's Georgia. I think Georgia will flip back. It used to be red forever. This run of blue is very recent for Georgia, but I actually think that he wins outright, and I'll say he gets 50.3%, just barely over the threshold to win, and I think Herschel Walker wins this tomorrow night for two reasons. Any other candidates besides this fucking Warnock guy probably is going to win. It really didn't matter who it was, in my opinion. And then the Georgia factor. I think you really, really fucking underestimate Georgia football fans. And right now they're number one in the nation. They just crushed Tennessee at home. And I think they'll go out and just vote because he was the greatest Georgia Bulldog of all time.
Bob, who else is on the ballot for Senate in Georgia? I know there's an independent in Pennsylvania, but I don't know.
There's some dude named Chase Oliver.
I don't know who that is.
And what Chase Oliver?
Does he have anything?
Well, the reason I'm curious is because
does he register?
Where are those votes going to come from? If he's libertarian, so those votes are going to go to fucking Herschel Walker in the runoff, more than likely.
My biggest concern, or whatever you want to call it, for Walker, if I was in Walker's camp, would be how many people just checked my box because they were there to vote for Brian Kemp and aren't going to be that inspired to come back out for me a second time.
Man, it's hard to get people to come back for a runoff. Look, it's hard for people to come out for midterms. A lot of people just don't give a fuck about midterms. And to go back again after this, holy shit. I mean, people are exhausted with it. So I don't know. I think he takes it tomorrow night, and I think it's over.
Well, if you listen to the White House press secretary, she's already preparing the battlefield right now, saying it takes time to count votes, and
Sure
it
does.
may take a couple of days to get the results.
Yeah.
No, it's never been like that in the history of this country, ever. It's like we've memory hold how life works all of a sudden. We've gotten results on every election the night of, other than like the ones that we didn't, you can remember, like Bush Gore in 2000.
Yep.
It rings out. Like those are not the standard. That's when shit's fucked up, right?
Even in 2016, there was a winner that night. It was late. It was 2:30 in the morning when we did that show.
Well, it's different when there's the Electoral College. It's a little bit different, right? Because I think it was pretty clear about 2/3 of the way through the night that Trump was going to win there, which was pretty funny. But because I was sitting in a house full of super liberal lesbians, and they were just like in disbelief. I can't believe this happened. Can't believe. And I'm sitting.
Were you laughing your ass off?
I was instigating, I guess you might say. Like I was instigating insofar as I would say, Hillary Clinton is like represents everything that you guys hate. So why are you voting for
why
her?
do you care? Yeah.
Why are you voting for her? Because they like the conversation steered very quickly into anybody that voted for Bernie Sanders wasted their vote. I'm like, yeah, I guess, but you actually agree with him more than you agree with her on almost everything.
Right.
You just voted for her because she's got a pussy, which is not that. The only thing that qualifies you for is to get fucked in your pussy hole. My understanding.
Sure,
right?
sure,
I don't know.
sure.
I'm not a scientist or anything, but just being a woman doesn't actually qualify you for anything. It's kind of a coincidence. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
And she was also like anti-marriage equality. She's done
For years.
She's a war hawk. She's like
For years. Yeah.
terrible human being, demonstrably so. Bernie Sanders is a little crazy, but he's not that bad of a guy. Compared to her, he's a fucking good dude.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look back at it for 2016, if Trump had to lose to one of them, I would have said Bernie Sanders over her. As crazy as it sounds,
Bernie
man.
Sanders probably would have won. I mean, it was a populist election, and they ran
Yes.
an establishment candidate. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it was strange. All right, let's move on to.
But by the way, the Republicans are making the same mistake right now. They're making the same mistake right now. Donald Trump had a fucking tantrum over the weekend and started talking shit about Ron DeSantis for some reason. Honestly, don't understand it. What I understand even less than that is how all these... I do understand it, actually, but all these fucking conservative influencers on the interwebs immediately like jumped on the fucking bandwagon, like, yeah, DeSantis needs to wait his turn. But what do you mean his turn? It's the country that we run.
Right.
It's not the fucking dude's turn to do anything.
Right.
First of all. Secondly, they are all parroting the same goddamn talking points that make no sense and don't like it. This isn't MAGA versus the world. It's liberty. That's the point. Like, you fucking get involved in whatever bullshit cult you want to get involved with, but our job as the population is to elect the person that's going to lead the best,
Right.
not a fucking 80-year-old dude. Again, we just did that. I mean, what the fuck? So I don't care one way or the other. If it's Trump or DeSantis, I'll vote for him over fucking Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But these people that are like fucking writing these long diatribes about how he needs to sit out and get out of the way, let fucking Trump take it and blah, blah, blah. One of the reasons I was given about that by a friend of mine was that Trump's relentless. He's not going to stop. So it's better for DeSantis just to get out of the way. Like, what? We're going to let the country be held hostage by this fucking megalomaniac? Really? That's your solution to that? That can't be it. That cannot be it.